This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio, it's a new anime season.
I like that one.
Yeah, I did not.
I like it because he doesn't like it.
Zero cheers. We ask the real questions about Pokemon.
You're still 10.
Right?
Yeah, but that's what every employer wants. 10-year-old with 18 years of experience.
And a forklift license.
It's too late, Team Rocket. I'm forklift certified. Oh no.
And we have another pitch for Netflix.
Murder, Death, and Edgy is the weirder version of Love, Death, and Robots.
I actually really like that.
I know what we're doing this summer on Netflix.
Ava launch!
Tetsuo! Kaneda!
Onita?
It's over 9,000! Nani?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
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 Kawaii-Fi Radio!
Konnichiwa, and welcome. You tune into Kawaii-Fi, the podcast we dive into the world of anime, manga, and all things otaku culture. I'm Kyle. With me is Aaron and Kenny. The myth.
Don't you dare!
Pre-show if you want to know. This episode, it's a new anime season.
I will destroy you.
This is why you don't give Aaron admin privileges.
Yeah. So it's a new anime season, and welcome to the revenge of the sequels. This season is stacked with season 2s.
Pretty much.
And it's looking good.
I mean, it's nice to see everything continuing.
You underestimate my sequels!
Now, as we do each season, each of the team have chosen 2 shows from the new season to talk about. We're going to kind of cover everything that we kind of can, from shonen to josei, action and romance. Plenty to look forward to always. And with it being the summer season as well, that means that there's surprisingly It used to be that the autumn and winter seasons were the biggest ones because everyone stayed inside. But now the summer season seems to also be big because everyone is now staying inside because it's too hot.
Yeah.
So go figure. So
Spring's going to be the season where everyone stays inside because there's too many bees.
I mean, that was last season. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
Obama and
the Bees pre-show again. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. Hello to all our regular listeners as well. If you're on YouTube, hi, you can see our ugly mugs there. And because yes, it's us three. We've got no beautiful Tifa or Emma with us today. So
Hey, remember like when we started all this many years ago, how you said that you were it's kind of tired of podcasts just being like 3 beardy dude bros sitting around talking about waifus?
Yeah. Oh God, all 3 of us have beards now.
Yeah, we failed.
So, my waifu pick for the year.
No, still banned. This is not a waifu or husbando creep show. That is not what we do here. Now, if you are enjoying what we do and would like to support us more, there's Patreon, as I mentioned. We have a pre-show every episode that is before we go on air, and you can also have the chance to vote on specials and other content as well. Details in the description. We won't harp on about it. Let's get stuck into the new anime season straight off the bat.
That's a lot of anime.
Oh, there's so many.
No, I didn't watch them all. Summer anime.
We're doing bowling. We're not doing baseball.
Okay, no bats.
No bats about it.
No off the bats?
No. Okay. So there's a lot this season. A lot of it is kind of there is sequelitis, but not in a bad way because they're all shows we're excited for to come back.
Pretty much.
But there are some good new gems in here. There's a lot less new shows that we think are worth checking out. There is a lot of, shall we say, fantasy isekai shovelware that's repetitive.
There's one that you're in.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. But like, that's Aaron's pick. He's been harping on about it since he found it 4 weeks ago. So first up, let's talk about sports anime. And we don't normally go for the sports animes here, but this one's kind of fun. And
this one's got a special place in our hearts.
It might be a good laugh to do a little video on as well. It's called Turkey. Time to Strike.
So a turkey is when you get 3 strikes in a row in bowling, because they have to come up with terminology for everything.
They do.
Yeah.
But mostly I'm just excited for this for Brendan.
Yeah.
Because Brendan loves bowling, and it's like one of our go-to activities together. Like, if we're having a bit of a bad day, we'll just go, hey, you want to go bowling? And we'll just smash down some pins and have some laughs.
Yeah, we joined you guys for bowling not too long ago, and it was a fun time.
Right?
And Chris just like, so our friend Chris, like, I love him dearly. He's a nurse. He's really good at his job, but sometimes he can be a little bit uncoordinated. When we went to, I mean, admittedly, this is like 15 years ago, but we went traveling around the UK and we were playing soccer out in the field. First time we'd played soccer as a group, and I think 10 minutes in, he rolled his ankle and he was down. It was like,
Yeah, he went to kick a ball and missed.
yeah. Look. Love him very dearly, but sometimes he has these moments. And then we go bowling, and he almost bowls a perfect game. And we're like, when did you last go bowling? He's like, I don't know, high school? We're like, how?
Thing is, the man he is an athlete as well. He was doing the whole local pro wrestling gig.
Yeah.
And his pain tolerance is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. We made some promo material for him. It was good fun. But either way, like as you said, Brendan, who's Aussie Obelix, who we've had on the podcast a couple of times before, he loves his bowling. He's pretty damn good at it as well.
He used to play in a league. He's got his own custom bowl. He has his own shoes, and he always goes, "No, it's never that serious. I'm not that good." And
He's that guy.
Yeah.
No, look, in fairness, like, he didn't kick our butt on every game. Like, he only won one of the games out of the 3. So, like...
Oh, you should see his brother Aaron play.
Yeah.
Like, he has so much force behind the ball. Like,
Yes, you do.
It goes down the, like, boom.
Yeah. All right, so we should actually talk about
Okay,
the
so
Wait a
the
second.
actual anime.
You aren't his brother, Aaron?
No, I'm not. I'm also not Kyle's brother Aaron.
Yeah, I also have a brother called Aaron.
We all have a bro that is Aaron.
It was apparently a very common name choice for good reasons. So
Yeah, it's at the beginning of the book.
yeah, you get chosen first.
Hey, Aaron.
So first things first, Turkey. Quick disclosure, we don't know the ratings or episode count for most of this season, and because we are still a couple of weeks out from the first episodes airing, we also don't have the full list of broadcast partners yet. Crunchyroll announced pretty early, High Dive announced pretty early, and Amazon announced and Netflix announced pretty early. Everyone else, especially the European ones, we normally find out first week of the season. So we aren't going to be able to let you know especially if you're in France and an ADN viewer, we won't have too many on this list that will be listed there. However, check in 2 weeks' time at the start of July for that first week, and that will have your listings then. So, yeah. Anyway, Turkey. This is, in bowling terms, it means getting 3 consecutive strikes. So, yeah. Oh, there you go. Absolute cinema. Now, a second-year high school student and captain of the Ikokukan High School Bowling Club. I'm not even kidding. Ikokukan High School Bowling Club
Ikakumon.
is a genius who can't win a match. That doesn't sound like a genius to me. Whenever she gets a turkey, for some reason, she ends up hitting the impregnable split snake eyes.
Oh,
I don't think
7-10.
you call it that. It's
No,
split.
it's a 7-10 split.
Yeah. So the 2 back pins. Rena, the only first-year club member, said to Mai, "You're doing that on purpose, aren't you? The captain is running away from winning. I want to win. If you're not going to win, I'm quitting the club unless we get one more split."
Is that really how this is going to go? Are they just going to go the traditional kind of sports anime?
Yeah.
The club's going to shut down unless we get one more member.
Well, it's not. They've got
Unless we
5
get one more
members.
strike.
So I'd say this definitely feels more in line with like Eurocamp, where it's like they're a club and they have enough members and it's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, we want to improve ourselves.
Yeah, it's the story of the end of summer as 5 members of the high school bowling club, Mai, Rina, Sayuri, Nozomi, and Nanase lose and fight, and finally win. Hey, they finally win? Okay, I'll watch this sports
Spoilers?
anime.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, every sports anime I've ever watched, they never win.
Yeah.
The Beyblade.
Oh, God. No, I just mean any soccer anime. Like, I haven't watched Blue Lock yet, but every other sports anime I've ever watched, they get cancelled before they can finally bloody win something. And it's like, yeah, no surprise you got cancelled because everyone wanted that euphoric, yes, we finally won something, even if it's just like the mid-season tournament and then they lose the next one.
Everyone's trying to go for the whole Pokemon thing of Ash constantly losing until like he wins the big one and everyone's super happy about it.
18 years to get here.
You're still 10.
Right? right?
Yeah, but that's what every employer wants. 10-year-old with 18 years of experience.
And a forklift license.
It's too late, Team Rocket. I'm forklift certified. Oh no.
So, why did you pick this one, Aaron? Obviously, like the bowling part.
It's entirely for the
Entirely
bowling
for
part.
that? Yeah, okay,
Yeah, like
cool.
bowling's got a special place in my heart. So seeing like a bowling anime be made,
Yeah.
that's not something that I had on my card list.
Yeah.
I had fun with it, so I'm intrigued as
Yeah,
well.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know the episode length, but typically, because this is an original by the studio, this will probably be 12 episodes. Very rare for original animes to get 24 just because it's a big expense. It's going to air on Wednesday nights. I don't actually have the broadcast time just yet. That should be announced this week. And it's airing on Crunchyroll. The studio is back in records, which is... So... Bit of context, most record companies in Japan have close relationships with anime studios because it's a quick and easy way to promote some of the new and upcoming artists. Back in Records haven't done anything notable anime-wise before this. They've done a couple of films and a couple of series, but none of them have really jumped into the zeitgeist. They haven't been part of like the anime season where everyone's like, wow, this is one you have to watch. They're kind of like
Anything
below the
particular
radar.
notable as far as a TV series?
Nothing we've talked about at all. And yeah, I think it's like 3 films, 2 series, and an OVA franchise. And none of them are anything we're associated with. They're not like shonen. They're just kind of, I hate to be rude, but they're kind of a little bit nothing. Like they're not something that people would get excited over. They feel very generic. This is the first thing they've done, which made you go, wow, this could actually be interesting. So I'm hoping this will see them do stuff. They were only established in 2019, so obviously 2020 came around. They didn't do too much.
No one did.
Yeah, like especially as a small studio, getting that stuff, yeah, going to be hard. Anyway, Turkey. Time to strike. Gobble, gobble. Let's move on. Kenny.
Hello.
One of your favorite anime and manga of all time has finally returned. Grand Blue Fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Its second
that
season.
one. I was trying to think, one of my all-time favorites.
Eurocamp.
Oh, that one where all the men are suddenly naked and drunk. Yes.
And oolong tea, which apparently turns out is a legit thing in Japan. It's just not the way they do it in the anime.
It's just, look, frankly, when we first discovered this anime...
Is this a bit?
No.
No. Wait, have you not seen this show?
No.
Oh.
Okay, look, here's the story.
Naked men and oolong tea.
Yeah.
We were coming off our sort of like high with Eurocamp when we discovered this one. And we had just found a bunch of animes where Japan tried to do us an educate. And we thought, thanks to the description, the cover art, everything about this anime, it was going to be an anime about a diving club. So it's like, all right, we're going to learn how to go diving. It's going to be chill and comfy. No!
This is comedy slice of life signing.
There is almost no diving in the whole series.
Is
They
it
go
Grand
diving
Blue
like
game?
once or twice.
That came after it. So
that's Grand Blue Fantasy. This is Grand
Blue
Blue
Dreaming.
So yeah, the whole thing is about this dive club full of like just these...
It's a university dive club.
basically a bunch of uni students constantly getting extremely drunk, which leads to them getting extremely naked on campus.
And it has a habit of doing Titan face. This was one of the earliest examples of Titan face after Attack on Titan came out. So like the and all that.
Where everyone's like got like hugely exaggerated sort of like faces.
Like for gags. I think you'll find this really funny.
I think you will enjoy this.
Yeah.
The movie was terrible. The live action movie was terrible.
but the live action was never going to compare.
And so it's like, it's all about, he's like, hey, that's my childhood friend. Maybe we'll fall in love. She thinks he's a total like dirt because he's constantly getting drunk and waking up naked in the middle of college.
Yeah. So I'll give you this
fun.
I'll
man.
give you the
I gotta
summary.
show you this
University is back in session for Iori, and so are the booze-fueled parties. Between diving club shenanigans, a surprise from his sister, and wild tests of courage, normal college life is anything but. Drive back into the madness with Iori and his beloved crew of lively splash artists.
Yeah, they go diving like twice in the season.
So in season 1, the story is Iori moves to the seaside town where his uncle lives to go to university nearby. And when he's there, he had a crush on his cousin growing up, and she's still there. And I don't think they're blood related. So that's okay. But everyone in this series has something wrong with them.
extremely wrong.
extremely
with them, yes.
wrong with them.
Everyone's
That's just real life.
Yeah, but this is more so than real life, like to the nth degree in a good way. So he kind of gets dragged into the diving club, not by choice, but because his uncle runs a diving shop. And when he shows up, he opens the door and it's full of naked men drinking.
and they're sort of the oolong tea bit is they're in the middle of like a trial, like a sports carnival thing, and he's just like, "Here, you look parched. Have this water." He gulps down some water and just like. He lights it on fire. This is straight vodka.
And he's like, have some oolong tea. And he's like,
This has got whiskey.
and it's like, it sets it on fire. He's like, what is this? He's like, whiskey and vodka. It's like, what?
That is what we call oolong tea here.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really fun. It's only PG.
Promotes an unhealthy lifestyle.
The mangas just went to a really funny recent chapter. Apparently, like, the latest gag in it is Iori and his cousin are now engaged to be married, not by their choice. Someone misunderstands something Iori says in class. A rumor spreads that they're about to get married. Everyone's like, wow, you guys are going to be so good together. And they're both like, huh? And then the joke goes too far and someone signs them up to be married and they don't realize it. And there's this great picture of them both standing there with a marriage certificate like, huh?
And the best thing is the credits music and bit is them going to karaoke every time, and it always ends with everyone like at the camo shouting, "We're sorry."
I think I still have that. I think I still have that in here somewhere. There we are. I've got it. Anyway,
We'll show you this later. It's fun.
I think you'll find it really funny. Yeah, Aaron's like, I don't drink. I don't get it.
I'm also having a realization. Is this the bully chair?
The what?
Is this the chair you're sitting to get bullied? Because like last episode, Kenny was sitting here.
No.
He had to walk away.
That is because you do the.
Yeah, but now I'm sitting here going, do I need to walk away?
No. All right. I mean, just because we bully Tifa when she's in that chair as well.
Because it's low to the ground and she's short. Yes.
No. Anyway, Tuesdays mornings, midnight, it'll air, so we'll get it probably Tuesday afternoons. Zero G is the studio for it, and it's being done in collaboration with Studio Liber. Liber did Bartender Glass of God. That's the only notable thing they've done.
I like that one.
Yeah, I did not.
I like it because he doesn't like it.
Zero G. Such a dumb show. Zero G did season 1 of Grand Blue Fantasy, did Mysterious Disappearances and High Rise Invasion recently as well. So they do good quality animation, and this will be good fun. Crunchyroll worldwide at this stage. I'm sure we'll get more information on where it's airing in Southeast Asia.
You're going to get an eye full of naked man abs.
Yes, you are. Okay, editing Kyle here. I realize I keep saying Grand Blue Fantasy. It is Grand Blue Dreaming. Grand Blue Fantasy came out after it and is based on a game series. However, I'm sure you can understand the confusion, so just wanted to clear that up. Next up, this is Tifa's pick. She sends it in. Regards from Melbourne. She has just finished her major productions and is sick. What a surprise.
Little tired, baby.
No, that's what happens whenever you do a production, everyone is sick afterwards. Every single time. Because I worked on a lot of uni productions when I was at university as just the sound guy. After every production, final party, everyone's great. Next day, not because of the hangover, everyone had flu. Every time, without fail. Like,
that's just because they're all knackered from it.
They're knackered and they're all in close contact with each other, and then they do meet and greets afterwards. So they're shaking hands with people in a close confined space. It's going to happen. Someone will get sick, and then you're all in close contact, and it'll go through the whole cast.
The plague was caused by theatre students. We should abolish the theatre.
Which plague?
Yes.
So this one I'm actually really excited for too. It's called The Summer Hikaru Died. I think Emma's really keen on this. This is a horror mystery supernatural series.
I feel like I know how this ends.
Yeah. The studio for this is CY Games Pictures, so that immediately makes me cautious because CY Games did a lot of the mobile games, but their recent stuff has actually been really good. They did Princess Connect Redive, and the animation on that was really well done. They did
fun.
Apocalypse Hotel this season. That's beautifully animated, and they're also the people responsible for Uma Musume Derby, the Horse Girls anime.
Yeah.
That thing has just so much in
It's
it.
got
which is
4
just-
seasons. How?
The animation for it is better than most sports animes.
I know, right?
That's like kind of the meme for
So,
it.
like-
And I sent you that gif of the girl like, using the key to open the door.
But she puts it in sideways.
Because the lock is a sideways key.
I don't know why.
That hurts my brain.
Yeah, so this is based on a web manga, which is still just a manga. It's just, and we are going to see this a lot more often because like print is not doing as well in Japan as has been the case everywhere else. They're just a little behind on the
Horse
curve.
girls subverted the cat girls.
Manga, a lot of anime and a lot of manga series and franchises are going to web manga exclusively. Shonen Jump's got an entirely exclusive line of stuff that is just Jump Online. This is going to air on Netflix. So, two best friends living together in a rural Japanese village, Yoshiki and Hikaru. Growing up together, they were inseparable until the day Hikaru came back from the mountains and was no longer himself. Something has taken over Hikaru's body, memory, and feelings, and everything they know begins to unravel.
Trippy.
So it's very much like a possession story, and I want to say it might be yokai related because that it tends to be the case when we have it, like, you know, the forest spirit has taken over someone or the mountain spirit, but we won't know. I don't know if anyone's read the manga already. Please
Yeah.
don't spoil it for us. I want to be surprised and
Japan
shocked.
don't really do the Fae or Wendigos, so probably yokai or ghost.
Yeah. So either way.
Tangu.
So we don't know, as with the others, don't know the episode lengths for this one, but it's going to air on Sunday morning at 12:55 a.m. So like 1 a.m. Sunday morning. It's starting on the 6th of July. This one, I think, I think this one is going to be this season's spooky one that everyone's going to be obsessed with. Keep in mind also, this season also includes... We're leading into October after this season, so this being led up to, because this will end in September, and then October. So this would be great to binge in the lead up to Halloween.
It's gonna be October soon.
No, 4 months away, 3 months
Yeah,
away.
but
We're good.
that's only 4 months. What the hell happened?
Yeah, no, I know people who are already decorating for Halloween.
Yeah, my wife.
Well, one of my friends in the States
It's a
as well.
sacred
She
day.
sent me some cool stuff. I'll have to show you.
Ooh,
later.
yeah, definitely do. So yeah, this one will be pretty good. We know that Tifa and Emma, both spooky girls, they love their horror, their mystery, their supernatural. So this is probably going to be one for all of our lovely female listeners who especially enjoy their murder podcasts. So, I mean, let's be honest, it's a big industry for a reason. Either way, going to be able to watch it Sunday mornings, so probably Sunday afternoon by the time it gets translated. Netflix so far, hopefully Netflix are doing same-day release. That's the understanding at this stage, but always a question.
Everything about Netflix is questionable.
Yeah. Look, as long as they're being used as a distribution platform, I'm fine with them. It's when they're kind of ruin things by sticking their own brand on it.
Even
Yeah.
when they distribute stuff, they distribute weird French stuff.
Do you mean Lupin?
No, I
Because
mean,
I enjoyed Lupin.
No, Lupin was a good episode.
Not related to Lupin the Third, though.
No, it's live action thing of a guy who recreates all of the Lupin.
Oh, like the original like
Yeah.
Super Thief ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you not seen that?
No.
Oh, dude, that's right up your alley.
It's been on my to-watch list, but I haven't got around to it. You've just reminded me, so I need to go back and watch it. On that note, let's move on, because there is actually a new Lupin film which just landed on Japanese Amazon. It's the first feature-length, like proper full feature-length one for, I think, 20 years.
Wicked.
For 2D animation, because all of like the blood trail of Goemon and all that, they are not feature-length. They're only an hour. So but it's the same style and the same guys who did those.
I want them to do another 3D CGI one.
Oh, same.
Yeah,
And
that
I
one
want it
was
to cross
good.
over with Tintin.
You know what? I would not be against that.
That would be so good.
I would not be against that. Kaiju number 8, second season. Now, this one's a little bit odd for where it's starting because they're actually airing the OVA, which came with the film first. And I think that's going to be on July 3rd? No,
Okay.
5th, July 5th. And then I have a week break, and then July 19th is when the actual show starts. So we do have to wait a little bit longer. Because of that, we definitely don't know the episode length. This could be a 10-episode season.
Kaiju number 8 is fun. A man swallows
Yeah.
a bug and turns into a super kaiju.
Yeah, Kafka. He is like the best. Like, he's bordering on a himbo, but he's also able to use his smarts.
Yeah,
And
he's
it's
got
just-
enough self-awareness, but he's also goofy.
Yeah.
It's also the fact that, it's not a young little Kirito man.
Oh,
This
I know.
is like a 30-year-old dad dude.
Yeah, who almost didn't make it because he almost aged out of the system.
Yeah. So basically, the whole story is this is a world where kaijus do attack regularly. There is a kaiju defense force which basically protects Japan from these kaijus coming through. A lot of them don't have numbers. A lot of them are just like, oh, this is a minor one. But kaijus of certain power levels are given a designation, a number, because of how powerful and dangerous they were. And they use those to kind of figure out the scale of how these things are evolving and how powerful they're becoming. Kafka was a cleanup guy. He cleaned up after the kaiju fights, kind of a bit like what we saw in the... Was it the... No, not Godzilla, Pacific Rim, where you've got the crews who make an entire industry out of using the resources from the monsters after they're defeated.
Mopping up all the goo.
So same sort of principle. They do the cleanup, they sell off the parts, they do that. But all this time he's wanted to join the defense force, and he's starting to come out of the age bracket where they'll let you join because like, oh, you're too old, you won't do well. He barely gets in. Along with another colleague from work, and then after their first dangerous incident, a bug kaiju crawls into his mouth and turns him into a mini kaiju, so human-sized kaiju. He can swap in and out of that state, but he's not... It's kind of questionable about who's controlling the transformation, and that's kind of the story for the first season, while he's in the defense force trying to hide that as a secret. Second season, there's new recruits... the new recruits are heading to their posts, and Kafka meets the strongest man in the defense force and leader of the first division. And it's all about him trying to get this guy to recognize his strength, while they also keep an eye out for Kaiju number 9, who has been going around and doing some very dodgy things. And Kaiju number 9 is humanoid size, as opposed to the other giant kaijus we had in the past, and something's definitely up. So, yeah. Now, this is Production IG, who we adore. Production IG have been around for a long time. They did the original Ghost in the Shell.
Ooh,
so,
nice.
yeah. They did Psycho Past, Haikyuu, Heavenly Delusion. They're an epic studio. We'll talk more about them, but they're under the same production company that owns Studio Wit.
Weren't they a game studio in the early 90s?
They also did do game development as well. I think most anime studios in the early 90s did game development to keep across. Like, we saw that with Gainax as well. We saw it with a couple of others as well. We did see it. Special episode on the Patreon for that. But this one's going to air on Saturdays at 11 p.m, so they should be landing on Sundays on most platforms. Crunchyroll currently is the exclusive rights provider for any Crunchyroll regions, but Southeast Asia, we will get more details on that in the coming weeks.
First season had an awesome OP. I want to see how they follow this up.
Well, this is the thing. Like, they've used Western musicians for the OP for the for season 1. And then,
oh no, it's got to be Taylor Swift.
One Republic.
One Republic, yeah, and it was really good.
Oh, it was incredible.
It was, and it's but I want to see what they do second season. I would love to see like a J-rock band take over for this, or even Bandmade. I flippin' love Bandmade.
No, it's going to be Western. It's going to be Taylor Swift or Sabrina
No,
Carpenter.
it's going to be the ultimate crossover. It's going to be Baby Beard.
Oh yes,
with Baby Metal.
Yes.
That'd actually, you know what? I'm having a look. I want to know who's
Baby
doing
Metal
it.
and Electric Six. Do it.
Oh my god, that is an
that would be
incredible
actually
max.
No. Electric Callboy Electric 6.
Sorry. Wait.
I think we broke Kenny. It is by...
My brain is trying to mesh those two together, and it is failing.
Okay, the opening is by a band called Aurora.
Aurora Borealis. Located
Aurora
entirely in this
Borealis.
anime.
Is it by Aurora or is it called Aurora? No, it's called You Can't Run from Yourself by Aurora. I don't...
You can't cook steamed hams by yourself by Aurora Borealis.
Steamed hams.
You'll have to go to Krusty Burger.
I have no idea who they are. They're Norwegian.
Norway.
Glorious.
I think it must be metal. We will have a listen to that later because we can't do that until it's Kenny's having the best day right now.
So happy. Sorry, it's just I've been listening to a lot of Northern European metal. They have so much fun.
They do. They do. Norwegian
And also,
metal.
also that actually I've completely forgotten what it is. Will Ferrell did a movie about Eurovision.
Oh.
And that's being turned into a stage musical.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's move on. Either way, Crunchyrolls, that's going to be 19th of July for the proper season to start, but Crunchyroll should have the OVA but at latest the week before because it's getting aired on Japanese TV.
Kaiju with Norwegian rock.
Did anyone see the Kaiju number 8 film? It was just a recap film, yeah?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think it was a recap film. That's why we weren't bothered.
Yeah.
But like once it lands on Crunchyroll, it might be worth watching just to kind of refresh. But then also because I think, as always, they add some additional bits and pieces that were in the manga but weren't in the anime.
Speed run.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. My pick, City, the animation. This one is flying under the radar, and it really should not. This is going to be the comedy of the season.
Is this like a Sim City?
I was thinking the same thing.
This is the creator of Nichijou,
crisp.
This is the creator of Nichijou, My Ordinary Life.
Oh, yes.
This is the new series that they've done.
I'm
And
intrigued.
it's being animated by Kyoto Animation as well, so it's going to be stunning. Midori is in a bit of a bind. She's in debt, and her landlady is trying to shake her down for unpaid rent. Her best friend refuses to loan her cash since she's wised up to her tricks. Maybe some bullying would help. Or maybe a bit of petty theft. Neither is sustainable, however. Maybe getting a job will settle things, but working means less time for fun adventures in the city.
I agree.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, this is going to air Monday morning, so just after midnight, starting on the 6th of July. We don't know the episode length, but it's just comedy sign-in. It is just going to be gag after gag. It's going to be on Amazon Prime.
I mean, we saw with My Ordinary Life that these people have no filter and...
Yeah.
Like...
I think this will be more engaging than My Dear Friend, Knock-a-town. Yeah. Like, for all the meme fuel that was, the story was not great.
Yeah.
I don't think it was meant to be.
I know.
It was just derpy, the anime.
Yeah, like they were just having fun. It won't get a sequel. This would get a sequel. Just like Nishijou, My Ordinary Health.
It's just, there's certain animes like that, and Shika and like others where you can't blame drugs on this sort of thing. There aren't drugs which make you go that loopy.
Yeah.
So it just makes you wonder what the hell is in the water in Japan.
Kenny, you just haven't found the right drugs yet.
I've found many drugs.
Have you tried no.
Have you tried men?
We don't know what we did. So this has been number Kyoto Animation. They did A Silent Voice, Violet Evergarden, Love Chunibyo, Other Delusions, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Amagi Brilliant Park. Brilliant if you haven't seen it. Classic.
Have we done an episode on
We
that?
did early on. I want to go back and watch it again. I love that show. It was so well done.
Let's do a retrospective.
Yeah, well, let me go back and check, because I think if we did do an episode, it would have been in the first year. And Amagi Brilliant Park is like one of those Kyoto Animation series that is timeless and deserves as much love as it can get.
Our early work is shocking.
We changed our format 3 times to get to where we are now, and this format seems to work pretty well.
I remember mostly reading off notes.
Yeah, it was very scripted. It was very radio, like talkback radio style, which is not good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we shoved 4 segments into a show, and it was way too much. And we kept it to an hour as well, so we didn't have enough time to elaborate on stuff.
Get into the guts of things.
Exactly. Either way, this is going to air on Amazon Prime Video internationally. We don't know where that might be for local broadcasts, but like at this stage, it is Amazon in both the US, Europe, and Japan. So I presume that'll be the same here in Australia. Mm-hmm. Moving on, Aaron.
Explain yourself.
Okay, welcome to New Saga. Aaron's been waiting to make this pun for weeks, for months, for years even. Go on, get it out.
No, I can't use the pun because it's technically inaccurate. But who wants to watch a show about Kyle? And I'm not talking Kawaii-Fi. I'm talking New Saga.
He punches drywalls and drinks primeval monster energy. No,
and he hates his stepdad.
So this is an anime about Kyle.
It's an action, adventure, fantasy, time travel. It's based on a light novel. It's airing on Crunchyroll worldwide, and it's by 2 brand new studios, at least for production, for animation style. Studio Clutch and Sotsu. Now, they've both done like in-between animation and stuff before, but they've never been the leads. So this will be their first time as the lead animation studio, which is cool. 12 episodes. This is the only one with an episode count.
Yeah, good Kyle.
So, yeah. Starts on 3rd of July, Thursdays at 2:15 a.m. Aaron, Come on, what's it about?
Kyle does Kyle things in a Kyle situation.
Okay, so this is My Life, the documentary.
This is the bullying
but fantasy.
seat now.
This
Yes.
is now the bully seat.
Okay, no. Look, I did choose this one and the previous one for the gags and guffs because, like, hey, it looks like fun. But look, honestly, no, it looks like one of my typical shonen choices. You know, like, he undergoes a bit of stuff at the beginning. He fights a demon lord, takes a trophy from him because he's almost dying, and then he goes back in time to do things correctly. Which, you know, sort of like Tokyo Revengers kind of thing I'm getting.
There was another like shonen-ish, like fantasy-ish anime like this with a crazy angel lady who brings back over-leveled guy.
Oh, yeah.
What was that called again?
I can't remember.
All I remember is her going, "Oh, nice biceps."
Oh, this was like the hero is socially awkward, but
Overcautious.
overcautious
That's right.
hero. Yeah,
Very similar kind of model to that.
yeah, but that didn't have a restart. He was just super cautious. So the official synopsis: after a brutal war, magic swordsman Kyle defeats the Demon King, but is left dying. A crimson crystal sends him 4 years into the past to his once destroyed hometown, where he finds his lost loved ones alive. Armed with his future knowledge, Kyle vows to protect from the coming tragedy and rewrite fate.
Does he?
Go, Kyle. Rewrite fate. Put more sabers in it.
Oh, don't rewrite fate.
That's what you get.
Don't rewrite fate. We'll get more angry comments.
I don't think it was angry. I thought he just thought like we didn't know as much as he did. He was obviously a very deep lore fan of Fate.
He was passionate.
Very passionate.
We like hearing from
We
passionate
do.
fans.
Look, if you like, I don't know if anyone, any of our listeners have looked at the comments on YouTube for our previous Fate video, but please do have a look. There's it is lengthy, but
A guy went through and made a bunch of timestamp corrections. It was.
But no, it wasn't all corrections. Some of it was like, yep, that's definitely right, and
like,
this is why.
further explaining it.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's really good. It adds to the actual episode. So if you haven't watched the Fate episode, watch it on YouTube if you can, because you'll be able to find those timestamps which will tell you about like those useful tidbits that are extra to Fate. And like, I will disagree with him on one point. No, not everything is canon. Like, they are canon within their own universe, but like magical girl into another one is not going to work, and I refuse to agree with you on that. I'm sorry, but I do concede your point that technically they are all canon to themselves because they're all created by the same studio and creators.
But that
Yeah.
means everything's canon to itself.
I mean,
Everywhere.
truth be told, as we've heard, everything is canon according to Games Workshops. So,
And
destroy
according to
them.
Napoleon from Fate,
yeah.
with his big arm cannon.
So, like,
Everything
oh
canon.
no.
Fire there, everything canon.
But yeah, anyway, I'll leave a link to that episode because yeah, it was a good episode. We had a lot of fun, and Aaron did a really good job of explaining it. So thank you very much
Thank you,
on that.
Lore Master.
Now let's move on to another sequel, Dan Dan
Dun dun dun.
Dan Dan Dan
Dun 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 dun.
Dan
Aaron's got
Dan.
advanced knowledge of Dan-to-Dan.
Aaron has seen the preview.
Oh, nice.
Kyle also has advanced knowledge because he's up to date on the manga. Was reading it before it came out.
Okay, so to explain the plot, dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Bananas.
So
Banana, tentacle.
So Dan to Dan is the only one of our selections this season which is rated R17 in the US, which means MA15 in most other regions.
In the US.
Because they don't have a mature audience rating the same as us.
They don't have a mature audience.
No. So this is action comedy supernatural shonen. This will likely be 12 episodes. I'd be very surprised if it gets 24. While there is enough content in the manga for it, it would be very strange to do a 12 episode first season and a 24 second season. Studio Science Saru, who we adore, they're one of our favorite studios. They've done Devilman Crybaby, Ride Your Wave, The Heike Story, 90 Short Walk on Girl.
Aizuken.
Don't keep your hands off Aizuken. They've got a very diverse style. They're also going to be doing the All You Need Is Kill anime adaptation that's coming up as well, which looks weird, but I'm assuming there's a reason behind that. The art style is just incredibly different from the manga.
Yeah.
But I'm sure as we get closer to it and we learn more about it, there will be an interview with the director as to why they went for that style. And it might be that the manga creator went, actually, yeah, could we try doing it this way? So I don't want to judge it yet, and I do love Science Staru's style. It's just so jarring having read the manga recently. So yeah. So Dandadan focuses on Momo and Okarun. Momo is a high school girl born into a family of spirit mediums. Her classmate Okarun is an occult fanatic. They encounter overwhelming and bizarre phenomenon one after another, and Omo awakens her hidden powers. Okarun gains the power of a curse. And they now set out to help Momo's childhood friend Gigi, who is tormented by ghosts, by heading over to his home for exorcism. What will be the next bizarre phenomenon they face there? It's a lot.
There's a false god. There's weird stuff that I don't like that makes me very uncomfortable.
So does the film finish that arc?
No. So the film ends with
Be vague.
Worm suicide.
Oh, yep, that makes sense, yep. If you've read the manga, you understand. Once you watch it, you will immediately understand.
Suicide by worms is a terrible way to go.
No.
Which is why I
They
phrased
eat
it
very
exactly as I
slowly.
did.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's where it ends.
Okay.
Which left a lot of people unhappy because they
Yeah,
were like,
I
what
would.
happens with this? What happens with that? There's this going on.
technically they only need one more episode after that to finish the arc. So that really annoys me knowing what I know. Okay, either way, Dandadan, like, the manga is bombastic and great. And it is very much like a coming-of-age story about young love, about, personal identities, lingerie.
Bandanas.
I swear they only
hottest
run
grandma
around
you've ever
in their
seen,
underwear. Like, it's exclusively underwear the entire show.
like,
It's a Calvin Klein ad.
it's a Calvin Klein ad, yeah.
Kind of takes you back to old anime, which we're
Free.
just obsessed with pantsu.
Yeah, but not in, like, this
It's
is the
not
thing
even
as
just
well.
the girls.
Yeah,
It's
everyone gets naked.
Yeah.
Like, it's hilarious.
And you were going up at me for liking Grand Blue.
See, underwear models, naked old men.
Not
Not
all.
old men. They're all like
Muscular.
buff swimmers.
Okay.
It's a Calvin Klein ad. It's free, but for diving.
Oh man.
But good.
Everything's a Calvin Klein ad in Japan.
Yeah. So anyway,
Japan is a Calvin Klein.
this is based on a
Japan
manga.
doesn't exist.
I kind of feel like the manga's kind of getting towards its final arc now, which is sad because the story's so much fun. But
If
like,
it drags on for very, very long, then it
They're gonna have to fight moon people.
maybe they can. Yeah, maybe. Look, maybe they can wrap it up and then
Tifa's favorite.
then they can do like a 10-year later where, like, I don't know, Momo's looking after the shrine, her grandma's retired, and Okarun's running like a detective agency.
He's fighting all
Like,
night.
yeah,
He's
like,
running it.
he's so anyway, we actually have a decent listing for where this is going to be because all of these people had the previous partnerships and have signed up for season 2. So Crunchyroll and Hulu have it mostly worldwide. Hulu only US, however. Anime Digital Network, ADN, in France have it. I believe there is a German streaming service which will have it as well. We should get confirmation of that next week. And then the whole Muse network, except for, I think, Muse Thailand have it. So Muse Asia, Singapore, Muse India, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Taiwan, and Vietnam all are getting it. And then Netflix in regions where these aren't serving.
This is going to be another one of those animes where I wonder if the OP is going to be as good in the second season.
I did not rate the first season OP,
What?
but it has grown on me. I just felt like it should have, like, it could have gone even harder.
Well, the references in it.
The animation's beautiful. I just mean just the song.
No, I mean the song because it references like The Ring and other spooky things.
It does. Look, I'm not saying the lyrics are wrong. I'm not saying the
You
animation's
wanted
wrong.
the music to be
I
a bit
wanted
more-
the backing track to just boom at the end. I want it to be like it needs to be all rise for that
He was
1
coming
minute
off
30.
Shangri-La Frontier, so...
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, like, give me the power. And it's
Shangri-La
still
Frontier's-
amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love the OP, and some of the nightclub remixes we're seeing for it are incredible. But yeah, I just kind of wanted a little bit more. Right, Shangri-La Frontier. That is an anime you should definitely watch.
No, it's just
100%.
the second season's OP was just, yes!
Yeah, look, every OP was great. Back to Tifa. Her pick for this season is Dress Up Darling Season 2. Completely understand.
It's a respectable decision as well.
So Romance and Seinen, PG-13, originally from a manga, starts airing on the 6th of July. Currently Crunchyroll worldwide, animated by Cloverworks, Sky X Family, Horimiya, Darling in the Franxx, Bocce the Rock, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Sentai, Elusive Samurai, Wonder Egg Priority. Like, we love Cloverworks. They are a subdivision of A1 Pictures,
They do pretty things.
but they do real good stuff. This is going to air on Sunday midnight. So Saturday midnight, Sunday morning. And that's going to be, well, actually, we don't know the series length. So the whole series focuses on Marin Kitagawa and Wakano Gojo. And no, he's not that Gojo, but the memes are everywhere and it's hilarious. So they meet one day and they become closer through cosplay. Wakano loves Hina dolls, which are like the real traditional little Japanese dolls, but he's also like to learn... Because he does a lot of sewing and stuff, because of that, he ends like Marin finds out and it's like, can you make me cosplays? And you know, there's still so many cosplays they want to do together and so many outfits they want to make. They become really close. While interacting with their classmates and meeting new cosplay friends, Marin and Wakana's world expands even more. Will there be any developments with Marin's love for Wakana that's filled her with ever-ending excitement? Yes, there will be developments. And the manga kind of got to a point where you're like, what's going on? Like, it feels like it's dragging. And then they're like, actually, let's wrap it up. And I was a bit disappointed because I wanted a bit more about it, but the ending's perfect. It's beautiful. It's really heartwarming, and they did a really good job of it. Also, this season should be really good for Gojo meeting, and so he was typical thing, like, you know, kids who are hyper focused on a certain career path in like middle school sometimes become a bit isolated because that's all they want to talk about. Happens to Gojo because he doesn't want to talk to people about the fact that he wants to make dolls because he thinks it might be considered creepy. Other people think it's really cool. He starts coming out of his shell. He actually ends up getting male friends as part of this. So it's really good. And obviously they go to a lot of conventions, new outfits and all that. It's great. I love this series so much. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of the work that was done behind the writing for it, they coordinated with a lot of major cosplay creators, like outfit designers in Japan, and worked with the industry to make sure they were correctly representing things.
That's wonderful.
It's fantastic.
I love a director that does their homework.
Yeah. So yeah, look, highly recommend it. If you're into cosplay, this is a great series. If you're into romance, it's a great series. Seinen, because it is targeted at a bit of an older audience, it's not going to be like, you know, all action all the time. There is a lot of discussion around like personal feelings, emotions, and so forth, mental health, elements of that, you know, tend to appeal more to the older audience because we're all dealing with it. But it's not to the point that it overshadows it. It's very funny. It's very lighthearted. There are moments of like deep emotional stuff, but
And
it is tempered well.
A very healthy model of a relationship between those two as well.
Marin is absolutely obsessed with Gojo in like the sweetest way. It's really nice. So yeah, highly recommend it.
And he is a gentleman.
Oh, I have so much respect for Gojo. He's such a good dude, like such a solid guy. Right.
Left.
Is that it for last season?
No.
Seasons, sorry?
We've got 2 left.
Okay.
So both of them are spooky. This one's mine. Call of the Night Season 2. This is from the same guy who made Dagashi Kashi, except that he basically used all the same characters, tweaked them slightly, flipped every female character's bust size, and then went, they're vampires now. So this focuses on...
This sounds like a fan fiction.
It's amazing. Creepy Nuts did the opening for it,
Nice.
and this was before they got really big, and I feel like their opening for this is so underrated. So it's romance, supernatural, PG-13. Lydon Films are doing the animation for this. They did Goblin Slayer, Tokyo Revengers, Insomniacs After School. Love that one. Cells at Work Black and Atelier Rises animation. I can't say that was particularly great, but, you know, it was pretty.
It was there.
It was there. Play the game. You'll get more out of it. This one's going to begin airing on the 4th of July. So to our American friends, that's a good day to protest. Considering what's going on at the moment. Friday, 11:30 p.m. is the starting time. So you can, you know, watch it in the evening for you guys there. Don't know the length of the episodes. Previous season, I think, was 24, and I'm hoping this season will be 24 as well because they've got a lot of manga chapters to catch up on, and the manga is now finished. So this should make it pretty easy for them just to keep going. This is going to be on High Dive and Netflix so far. Typically, when we see High Dive for America, that does mean ADN in France and a couple of the other smaller boutique sharers in Europe. So fingers crossed we get it a bit more place. This focuses on Kao Yomori. He's an average middle school student who struggles with grasping the concept of love. And he also sees little sense in surrendering to the norm. So he soon stops going to school because he's got insomnia due to not doing much. He begins roaming the lonesome streets at night. Yes, this is not a wise thing for 14-year-olds to 15-year-olds to be doing, but yeah. One night...
No, do it. See what happens.
Cow encounters a bizarre girl... a bizarre girl named Nazuma Nanakusa, who believes that people stay awake during the night because they are dissatisfied with how they spend their day and cannot rest until they release their inhibitions. Turns out, Nazuna is actually a vampire. So... she invites him to sleep with her at his place, not in that way, just like, I will massage you and make you comfortable. She convinces him to share a futon with her. Feeling uncomfortable, he only pretends to doze off, which is when she suddenly bites his neck. Now, he thinks the bite will turn him into a vampire. Gets very excited by this prospect. The specifics of transforming, however, are not that simple. In order to change, you must be bitten by someone you truly love. So you must be in love with the vampire themselves. And he doesn't understand love. So he's just, kind of being a blood bag at the moment. So he's ready to let go of his dreary mortal life. He decides a new goal, fall in love with Nazuna and become a vampire himself. However, there's a time limit. It must be done in 12 months from the first bite.
That's
Spooky.
some odd rules, but okay.
Make things more difficult. Nazuna has never turned anyone. No one has ever fallen in love with her, and she's never fallen in love with anyone. So it's this whole two socially awkward people, and then a cast of other vampire characters who are all based on characters from Dagashi Kashi and are gorgeously animated. There's a lot of people there who really liked Saya, I think it is, who's like his childhood friend who had a crush on him in Dagashi Kashi. And she is like the complete opposite of what she was in Dagashi Kashi. She is like so forward, so much more... I don't want to say like the S word, but she is
Susan.
she's so much more Susan. But yeah, she's definitely, shall we say, a bit more aligned to a succubus rather than a vampire in her behavior.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny to see such a sharp contrast, but even though he's using similar designs, this is such a different story.
We
Is
see
this
this
because of the bus changes, or
Possibly.
we
the
have
bus size determines your personality?
I mean, like, Nazuna's based off the main girl from Dagashi Kashi, and she's flat as a board now. So, like...
Okay, but it's like we have seen creators reuse their characters a bunch of time. Look at Studio Trigger, Fate, yes, Fate,
Yeah.
yes, Fate.
But, like, it was, like, one of the weirdest things when the artwork was announced, and everyone's like,
hey,
you just swapped all the characters' personalities around.
you
and
filed off the serial numbers and put them in a fan fiction.
Yeah,
and
and
they
ju-
were like roommates.
Yeah, like, it's really, like, don't get me wrong, it's an exceptional show, and I actually think this is a better show than Dagashi Kashi because the plot actually moves forward.
I learned things from Dagashi Kashi.
Dagashi Kashi is fantastic.
Like, don't accept cookies.
Yes. I never do.
Never accept cookies, not even the necessary ones on the internet. But yeah, look, this is really good fun. While it says it's PG-13, I definitely think it's tending more towards the M just because there are some mature themes being addressed in this and talked about. So if you are a parent and you're thinking of watching this with your kid, maybe watch a couple of episodes on your own first to check that it's suitable, because this one does kind of delve into some territories that is not suitable for all audiences. And I don't mean that in like, there's, murder, death, and ecchi. It's not that far, but it's just some of it could be misinterpreted by younger viewers. So, yeah.
And we don't want them repeating things they see on screen.
Murder, Death, and Ecchi is the weirder version of Love, Death, and Robots.
I know, right? I actually really like that.
I know what we're doing this summer on Netflix.
Death and Ecchi.
Oh, God.
It's our After Hours podcast.
You know what? I wouldn't be against that. Anyway, let's move on. Last one for the season. Now, this is not to say these are the only ones. We do have a quick list of other ones to keep an eye on that are just returning ones. We will know more about some of the non-returning shows as more details get released, but the returning ones we know a lot more about. But first, Night of the Living Cat. As in that is night, but nya at the front of it.
This looks so dumb.
This looks so good. We don't know the rating. We don't know how many episodes. It's going to start on the 8th of July, airing on 2 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. It's based on a manga, and it's being aired on Crunchyroll. It's animated by OLM. So, Apothecary Diaries, Communique, Summertime Rendering, the entire Pokemon franchise, and even Gunsmith Cats. So, there you go. This is probably the dumbest horror film I've ever been excited for. It's action horror, suspense, shonen, not film, but you know what I mean, series.
I've been excited for some dumb horror films. So
A virus spreads across. Cocaine Bear.
yeah,
A virus spreads across the world, transforming all humankind into wild, slavering furry beasts. Cats, to be precise. Those few survivors who remain human take refuge in the dark corners of the earth as they fight back against the feline hordes. Kunagi, a man with no memory of his past yet a deep knowledge of cats, struggles to hold on with only his wits and a will to survive. Yet the virus transmits merely through cuddles, and Kunagi finds Kitty so hard to resist. Is his willpower strong enough to withstand this hair-raising catastrophe?
so if cat cuddles you, you turn into a cat.
Yeah.
That's just a zombie anime, but all the zombies are cats.
I think it's also like if you reciprocate.
Yeah,
It's like because there's this picture of the guy covered in cats. And I'm assuming like there must be a back and forth interaction for it to work.
this is dumb.
This is going to be so good. It is going to be the cheese of the season. This and City are like the two that I'm just like, these are going to be so darn funny as the new ones for this season.
Do you reckon it's because they tried to create like a cat girl virus to make everyone turn into cat girls?
I hope
But
that's-
it went too far.
I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the plot. That'd be so damn good.
Like, finally, we've got cat girls. So we accidentally mixed up with strains. This is the pure cat one. What do you mean? It's the pure cat one?
No. Oh look, I'm here for that. That sounds great. 10 out of 10. So that's at least our sort of picks for this season, but it's not our only picks. There is a lot to watch this season. We've got Sakamoto Days Part 2 returning. We've got Dr. Stone Science Futures Part 2 returning. There's new panty and stocking with Garter Belt. That's finally coming back after like 15 years.
Stockings.
Yeah. Toilet Bound Hanako 2's Part 2 is airing. And, of course, the VIP of all Isekai, Reborn as a Vending Machine Part 2.
Oh, for God's
Look,
sakes.
The anime is better than the manga by a long
That's
distance.
not saying much.
No, it's actually a lot of fun. Like, he makes himself... What is it?
It's so
It's
stupid.
layered dungeons, and he makes himself, like, super heavy and drops himself as a nuke, basically, on a dragon. It's unhinged. They also use Mentos and Coke to fight a dragon at some point as well. It's just like, this is a 10 out of 10 for stupidity. You're watching it not because it is art, but because of the experience. That is it.
It's
Not because it is art, but because it is fart.
yeah.
It is creative
Don't
and
laugh.
funny.
It's a fusion
Do
of
not
jazz
laugh.
and funk. I call it junk.
All right, so that is our picks for the season. If there is something we missed that you think is really good, drop it in the comments section. We'd love to know. As we said, there's always a lot to go through. Back in the day, we would used to do the entire season. It would take 4 hours. We're not doing that anymore. You don't want to listen to that. So that's what we're going to focus on for now. That being said, we do need to, now that we've looked forward, we do need to look back at the season that just was.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Why do we watch that?
Definitely in my top 5.
Season in review.
Wow, looking behind us, that's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like this is too literal.
It's a bit too literal. Let's turn back to the mics. For those playing at home on audio, we were looking at our background instead. So let's talk about the season that's just gone by. We've had the spring season. There was a lot to like this spring season.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that we didn't get a chance to watch all of it. I am so far behind on Lazarus. I am so far behind on so many shows that I want to watch, include Gundam. But I am up to date on Rockers and Ladies Modesty, and ooh, I love that.
That's your jam.
It's my jam. It's Tifa's too. But let's get stuck in with what we did enjoy from this season. So, Aaron, what was your pick?
So I was going to watch The Brilliant Healer's New Life because I was like, I enjoy healer animes.
Yeah.
It seems fun. The first 10 minutes is just him going, all right, I'll be back later. I'm doing a house call. And then like 5 different girls show up all going, oh, I can't wait for him to come back and take care of me. And I was sitting there like, oh, I am done.
This was
Yeah.
someone's fantasy.
Yeah.
So then I went ahead and watched the Unaware Atelier Meister, which was incredible.
So Atelier being a trader, Meister being a master. Is it about going to villages and trading stuff?
No, it's about this one kid who has like terrible combat skills because it's one of those universes that has like skill rankings.
Yep.
He goes to the guild to get himself assessed. All of his main skills, like combat skills, G. so non-existent basically.
Yep.
But all of his non-combat skills were so high they weren't able to be measured, which is supposedly triple S tier rank, which is like god level.
So his cooking, mining, skinning, and crafting.
Yep.
Has he got a cheat skill to access a virtual shop to pull things out of?
No.
Good.
But luckily they do.
I like that anime.
I do too, but I don't want it to be in every anime.
Yeah, true. They do explain why at the end of it as like a throwaway line.
He was blessed by the god of isekais.
No, it's something else. But like he starts off in this party and they all abuse him and they treat him like because they're like, we're only allowed 4 members in our party and why do we even have you? You can't contribute anything. Look at us, we're all legendary heroes and you don't do anything. So they're like fired. And then afterwards they discover that all of his skills that they were making him do, like cooking, cleaning, all of that, they relied on because that gave them boosts.
Yeah, because they were all like buff foods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they can't do anything that they used to be able to do. Like, they took down one of the top tier monsters, and now they can't even fight, like, basic monsters anymore. And so he sort of goes off and he's like, oh, what am I going to do? Joins a guild to do, like, just random jobs. And every job he does, they're like, oh, we'll get you to do this. And he's like, oh, okay, I'll try my best. Oh, do you want this done? And they're like, don't ask questions, just do it. And he's like, all right, well, like, people probably just assume you do it this way. And he does, like, a job that'd take a week in a day.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I'm digging this, yeah.
yeah. Like, he's very efficient at what he does, but he's also very humble.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you know, like, that's just how it is.
This is one for the World of Warcraft guild crafters.
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, it's very similar to what if a country bumpkin from the last town boonies moved to a starter town.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, he's got, like, all this, like, he's really good at everything, but he's humble about it. He thinks everyone else is better. And then when they finally do get his scores, they don't tell him his triple S rank. They tell him, like, C and D rank. So he doesn't believe he's that good, and that keeps him, like, there, which is where they know he's happiest. And they're like, oh, can you do this for us? And, like, he gets taken to Natalia's house, has to clean out her kitchen, and they're like, oh, this will probably take a few days. Does it in half an hour.
Damn.
Finds a lady with a curse, goes, oh, that doesn't look good. Here, let me make you some food. Sounds like you're hungry. Gives her the porridge. All of a sudden, curse is cured.
That's the way to do it.
Power porridge.
Yeah. So,
I
like,
could go some porridge.
genuinely watching it, I was like, you know, this is one of those feel-good fantasy ones where it's like, there's no weird undertones, there's no darkness, it's just a guy doing things because he wants to help.
It's nice.
That's chill.
Yeah.
And obviously everyone else in his party wants him back, and he's like, nah, I'm good, see you later.
Well, they all fall apart, and the party gets disbanded, and stuff happens to them. The leader of the party is wanted by the guard because of the stuff that he's been getting up to.
Oh, dear.
The ninja left the party because she's like, screw this.
She went on to become a journalist, though, so it's okay.
The priest is working for a corrupt church, so she ends up doing some bad things.
Wow.
But he doesn't understand what she's doing, and he misinterprets the whole thing because of another story that they told him. And so he's like, you really shouldn't draw on sacred sites. You're very naughty. And he like mops up the spell circle underneath her.
10 out of 10. I like it. She's like, but I was trying to summon demons. What are you doing?
Well, no, because a demon was controlling her.
Ah.
Yeah. And so by mopping up the spell circle, demon's no longer controlling her.
That's pretty good.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Well, this one's on Crunchyroll. For those of our international audience, it does also have international sub and dub. So English, German, Brazilian, Portuguese, Hindi, and Latin American Spanish as well. So, you know,
Easy watching.
Easy watching for pretty much everyone on the thing.
It sounds like a chill time as well.
It does.
Oh, and the main character's name is Kurt.
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 That's very Kurt of you.
Well, when it started, I thought they were all calling him Kerr.
Kerr.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, that's so mean to call this guy a Kerr. Like, he's a part of your party. Oh, it's Kurt.
Yeah.
This is kind of a side note, but were either of you fans of a show called Mighty Boosh?
Not now,
No.
Brad.
There's a side character in it called Kirk, and I just, now that you've said that, all I can think is Kirk. Where is he? No one knows. He's so deep in his drug binge that he's in the astral plane. It's just this kid staring into the sky.
I just
We couldn't let Kirk drive. He's a renowned road rager.
just like every time they go to the moon and it's some gibberish with the guy who's got cream on his face, you're like, what am I watching? And they did write it while they were on substances, and many of the characters are on substances. Anyway,
Running along, yes.
Mighty Boosh is like, if someone saw
Drugs.
Monty Python's Flying Circus while on drugs,
Yeah.
I've been there.
and then wrote a story.
I've been there. I was very, very sick and on many codeine.
Oh yeah,
And I binge watched Monty Python's.
pill? Yeah.
I binge watched all of Monty Python's Flying Circus while I was sick at home. That did a number on me.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they explained some things.
Yeah,
That
quite
was.
possibly. Yeah.
Don't do that, kids.
Don't do that. Okay.
Do drugs.
No.
Don't do drugs and watch Monty Python.
No,
That'll hurt.
don't do drugs unless they're like to help with your ADD.
If you don't do drugs, then watch Monty Python, but don't do both at the same time.
Just stop trying to give advice. You're bad.
My advice
Yeah.
is
You're bad
Jenny,
at
you're
it.
digging a hole.
Yeah. Moving right along.
Kenton says-
Unsurprisingly,
Right.
Unsurprisingly, Emma is obsessed with Apothecary Diaries. Season 2, exceptionally good.
it's
Again,
a reasonably good one to be obsessed with.
Oh, it's beautifully animated. It was releasing in 24 block episodes based on a light novel. The manga's still catching up to it. So unfortunately, the anime is ahead of the manga.
Not one of these. Oh, no. I haven't been there since the goddamn early thousands.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no. It's going to go Naruto on us.
No. It's because
Believe it.
they've got the light novel to work from. The light novel is much further ahead. They started doing the manga once it was becoming clear that it was getting an anime adaptation and it was popular.
Oh, wait, seriously?
Yeah. So the light novel is actually like, it's huge. Like, it is probably the most, like, it's seinen, but I think, my understanding is it's the most popular josei book category-wise in Japan.
Fantastic.
So, like, consistently.
I'm still a bit agitated at it that it's Sherlock Holmes and that.
I mean, yeah.
I only learned about that later.
Yeah,
Damn it.
it is Sherlock Holmes. But anyway, we've mentioned it before. So her other one, which we weren't actually expecting to be good because of the name, but actually ended up being exceptional, is The Too Perfect Saint, tossed aside by my fiance and sold to another kingdom. It's been animated by Studio Troika. It's basically there's in this world. Classic fantasy world, it's an island with all these kingdoms on it, and the Demon King is trying to invade. So all of these kingdoms have a saint who protects them and goes out and purifies the land. The main character, Philia, she is from a renowned family which produces saints for generations in the kingdom of Gertonia. They fight to protect humankind from monsters, and she went rigorous education and training to earn her title. She's got a little sister as well, also from the same family, also a saint. Her fiancé, Julius, who is the prince, breaks off their engagement and sells her to the neighboring kingdom, Panacotta. Yes, Panacotta. For resources. Her little sister then has to take over looking after her kingdom. And when she gets to the other kingdom, she realizes, wow, they were really overworking me. Everyone was like so respectful, so caring. The prince of this kingdom is just lovely. He's really nice. There's political intrigue, there are battles, there are cute moments of like self-realization. It's just beautiful. It's really well done. Studio Troika, fantasy romance, definitely targeted at like the Josei and Joso, no.
We need a crossover.
Yeah, between this and Apothecary.
No, between that and the
the Atelier.
Unaware Atelier Meister. Yes.
But yeah, that one's really good as well. That's on Crunchyroll. So
I missed that one completely. I'll have to give that one a look.
it's really good. I was watching The Gorilla Gods Go-To Girl, as was Emma, but I was also watching Rocker's Lady's Modesty along with Tifa, but Tifa picked it and beat me to it. So Gorilla Gods Go-To Girl is my pick for the season. This is amazing. Fantasy setting. Digital manga it's based on. Sophia, she's a timid daughter of a count. They're kind of more considered commoners than, the regalness. She just wanted a peaceful life. But once you join the academy, you go up to the spell bowl and you draw a blessing. And every blessing is related to different gods. And certain gods are more powerful than others. She wanted something quiet. So she was like, maybe I will get like the blessing of the sheep, which will let me be really good at like making clothes or stuff like that. You know, she gets the gorilla god. The gorilla god gives her unmatched strength, agility, power. She immediately gets recruited into the Royal Knights. She is their trump card. She turns her quiet days into complete chaos, and now she must juggle school, the nightlife, as in like, you know, being a knight, not partying, and her overwhelming power. Who knew gorilla strength could be so complicated?
Banana.
The best part about this is the gorilla god themselves. It's not you've just got the strength of the gorilla. The gorilla god is literally a shadow behind her all the time, reacting to things. So she'll do something really powerful, and he'll be like, or, you know, she'll get really embarrassed, and the gorilla god will also be embarrassed. And it is the best. And
that sounds cool.
There's the two best friends are clearly a Labrador and a black cat. And then there's the kind of prince of the knights who everyone like is obsessed with, and he's just actually a genuinely good dude and oblivious of that. Like he's all he cares about is being a good knight and caring and looking out for others.
What's his
That's a secret. It's part of the story. It's a good reveal and surprising.
It is the pig.
But there's like, it starts out like it's all about, you know, oh, how is she going to survive with this? And then there's a attempted bombing at the school. And you discover that there's this entire faction of people who were not awarded the ability to get a
animal deity.
Yeah, they live in the slums, they're discarded by society, and they're seeking revenge. And that's where the story's heading. And it's really good. Like that, sure, it's a lot that as the overall plot, but it's interweaved so well with like the rest of the story that it's just fun. And like no one in this story is truly evil, I don't believe. Like even the bully girl in the school and stuff like that, none of them are truly bad people. They all have redeeming features to them, but it's all about the circumstances of what turns a person into a type of person. And it's really well handled.
What turns a man into a gorilla?
Exactly. So yeah, highly recommend this one. Like this one, it was the one we watched every week. It was the one we went, yes, that's the one that I want to watch. I don't want to watch anything else. I want to see Gorilla Chan. So, yeah, it was so much fun. Final episode drops literally around the time this episode goes out. That'll be all 12 episodes. Actually, do we only have 12? Yeah, only 12 episodes for this one. Most shows this season are 13 episodes. So, but this one's 12, and it's good. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, let's move on. Last to Kenny's.
Hello.
Now, we did give this show a bit of lip.
What?
Because of just the translation. Zatsutabi, that's Journey.
Yeah. That's number one.
Exactly. However, this was apparently exceptional.
Yes, this is another case of an evil travel agent in Japan making a show to make shut-ins and neets go outside and touch grass, and it, like with Eurocamp, it worked.
Yeah.
Okay, so your main character, she is a new manga artist. She has a bit of a fan base because she was kind of a rising success, but now she's struggling to get any of her manga sort of accepted, made by a studio. So she's just sort of like, okay, I need to go out somewhere. I need to sort of like refresh my mind, get some inspiration. So she puts a poll up on her little private, on her Twitter, basically, on her Xter.
Her social media, and we'll call it
her social Twittering. Yes.
Yeah, whatever. I was trying to think of a good pun on Twitter, but I can't be
And
bothered.
it's just like
Cheaper? Chirper?
Chirper, yeah.
Chirper. Let's say Chirper.
Let's
I
call
like
it Chirper. Yeah.
And so, yeah, she puts up a poll on her Chirper of which direction should I travel in? Not where should I go, which direction?
That's kind of good.
And so they're like, okay, go north. And so she starts visiting all of these different towns, all of these like touristy spots you can really, really go to in Japan, and you get an educate on all these different places. I know a lot of places I want to visit in Japan now, thanks to this.
That's pretty good.
And it shows like the town's specialty, like this town does exceptional mollusks. This town does these crazy little pastries. This town has this shrine. It's just like, all right, I now know more about Japan.
Yeah.
This is like Eurocamp again, where it's just like, okay, we're going to show you some beautiful places, some wonderful food that you could eat, some just chill, comfy things you could be doing as you explore and wander Japan. Evil travel agent wins again.
Diabolical. I love
Really
it.
diabolical.
It's a loaded deck.
Yeah.
You have no choice. You watch this show, it's just like, nice. I'm going outside now.
I'm going to touch some grass.
Yes! I have touched so much grass. What the hell?
My hands are green and stained and itchy.
How did this happen to me?
Well, it's on Crunchyroll. Final episode drops on Tuesday morning. So this
Yeah, it's basically her friends see her start adventuring and going to all these places. They're like, I want to come too. Okay, you should come too.
Oh, that's cute.
It's just chill, and it's made me also discover a bunch of new YouTubers who are also doing travel.
Oh man, there are some good YouTubers out there. There's a guy who specifically does transport, no talking, just text on screen.
Oh,
so
yes,
he does the boat travels, he does the train journeys. He even does some of the small charter flights to show you what that experience is like.
Actually, one of my favorites, name is slipping my mind at the moment, but basically he bought himself one of those K-car trucks.
Turned it into a van.
Built a little cabin out of wood on the back of it. And his whole thing is no talking. He just goes out to places, camps, makes a little meal inside his tiny, tiny little cabin, and just relaxes.
There's a girl in Korea who does a very similar thing, and she takes her cat with her.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yeah, it's really cute.
That's so cute.
Yeah. She did one where she went with her brother, and he's like so unprepared. It was great.
I just love it because this guy, he did this whole thing only like a couple of years ago. And he's already got millions of followers. And it's just like, the man has never said a word, and I love him, and I wish him all success.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
from going
Just from
outside
that.
and touching grass. Evil travel agent has had its way with me.
Yeah. Well, last episode, as we said, drops on Tuesday, is on Crunchyroll. Let's go to the last one on the list. Look, I thought I'd like it. I adore it. Tifa also thought she'd like it. She also adores it. Rock is a lady's modesty. There is so much going into this that I need to talk about. I'm
crazy.
sorry. I'm obsessed. So this is just basically, it's a group.
Paper.
There we go.
Paper beats rock.
Oh no! So this is we held hands. It was very romantic.
Rock is a lady's modesty.
But
Then
paper
what's
beats
paper?
rock.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, at an elite all-girls academy
beats modesty.
where refined young ladies gather, Lalisa Suzunomiya is now the daughter of a real estate tycoon after her mother remarried and is forced to abandon her guitar and rock music to fit in. Her passion is reignited, however, by the sounds from the old school building where she meets a skilled drummer who shares her love for rock. Together, they embrace their inner rock stars, elegantly clashing and shouting their way through the academy in this captivating tale of grace and rebellion. They don't shout their way through the academy because otherwise then everyone would know that they're playing rock and roll music, which they're not allowed to do because it's not ladylike. This is everywhere except for Crunchyroll, I should clarify. So it is on Prime Video, High Dive, Anyone Asia's network, Anime Digital Network in France. The reason for this is because it's a little bit more mature in the content. They do flip off people. They swear at them. They use some pretty brutal language when they get really worked up and angry.
Didn't Crunchyroll have stuff like the redo of a healer stuff?
No, they got rid of it. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing that I love about this the most comes from like the musical standpoint, because for starters, the opening music is done by Bandmade, who did the opening for Zenshu. And I've become obsessed with them. They are so good. Like, it's an all-girl rock band. Started out of a girl who worked in a maid cafe, who's the guitarist and backing vocalist, and she is the heart and soul of that band. And they were actually brought in for this series for motion capture. So they decided to use motion capture for the performance scenes, and that the group participating in the motion capture would be the same one perform the opening song for the anime. So they then discussed Bandmade, and the idea was immediately received and gone. So they observed them live. They attended a couple of performances, saw a couple of the Kanami and Akane, so the drummer and the guitarist, and immediately compared them to those characters within the the book. And he's like, okay, well, yeah, consulted the director, and they went, yes. So 4 members of Bandmade participated in the motion capture. So Akane, who was the drummer, does for Otoha. Kanema did Lalisa. Saiki was done for Tina, the keyboardist. And Misa was for Tamaki, the bassist. In an interview, Akane stated the music was very difficult and she had to imagine how Lalisa would perform. So Bandmade do all the songs in the anime as well. So like they're the soundtrack too, which is great. And they place sensors not only on the instruments but on the drumsticks so they could capture where they are. And they were like, I had to be really careful not to damage the sensors because they interfere with the performance. And the production team went, don't worry, break them. And then she's like, yeah, just went for it. So then focused on the performance, was really good. So they really had a lot of fun with it. And this is one of those cases where the whole production came together because, as we know, a lot of voice actors do their recording in isolation from the rest of the production. Not the case for this. So
that's great.
Yeah, so they got them to listen to the music and they would stand like they're rocking out and play because they were able to watch and hear what was going on stage and channel that energy, which is why the voice acting in this is exceptionally good. I don't know about the dub. I have concerns it will not be anywhere near as impactful, but this is...
It sounds like they put some actual bloody passion into it.
Exactly.
Which is always impressive.
I'm really frustrated because there's only 1 volume in English and it comes out in September. There are 8 volumes in Japan. There is no fan translations. To all of my fan scanners out there, please get on this.
Cuckoo to say.
So this... was released originally in Young Animal magazine in 2022. It's a monthly.
Young Animal.
Yeah, I believe that's owned by...
A farmer?
It's a semi-monthly Japanese seinen manga, features photos of gravure idols. So, yeah, it's... Yeah, definitely not for young.
Where from?
A farmer.
I actually don't know. Yen Press announced in April that they've licensed it because obviously they realized, wow, people really like this.
Not Yen Press. It takes a lot to get their manga over here.
Well, no, they're becoming more common, and you can order it through Amazon easily now. But it's just that their distribution.
Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you can use mine. I let everyone use mine, so no one else pays them any more money.
Yeah, deal.
Don't tell Amazon. Everyone in my family uses my Amazon account. We have 9 addresses stored in it.
You hear that? Don't tell Amazon.
So
Specifically not Jeff Bezos.
Actually, tell Jeff Bezos.
Jeffrey Bezos.
I wish to rub his giant head. Just with a rag.
I'm just remembering the guy who makes...
Bobby Fingers.
Bobby Fingers makes like 3D things, and he made a Jeff Bezos face boat. Like it's
a big rowing boat which was functional, which was photorealistic down to the goddamn skin pore of Jeff Bezos' mug.
So yeah, the company behind Young Animal is Haku Sensha Publishing. I recognize the logo, but I actually don't know. It's part of the Hitotsubashi group, which has Shueisha and Shokakugan as part of them. So they're part of that trio for different age brackets. So there you go. But either way, Rock is a Lady Modesty. Get on it. Do not sleep on this. I think we might have, one more episode which airs on Thursday. So, if you're listening to this podcast in the future, it'll all be out now. High Dive is your best bet. Be prepared for the literal moe gap of girls in pristine, ladylike things, rocking out and having devilish grins and jagged teeth because they're losing their marbles with how much fun they're having. This is it's not one of those, they're instant successes. They go to a battle of the bands and no one claps for them because they just weren't expecting it because they're an instrumental band. So, yeah. And then the final arc that we're in, they're doing a battle of the bands against, and I'm so looking forward to this. It's 4 douchebag guys who are Let's Play YouTubers, all awful people, decided they'd start a band 3 months ago. They're so cringe. They think they are the bee's knees. They all have psychological problems. All their fans are female. They're ready to be grumpy at a girl band, and I'm expecting them to completely steal every single one of their fans. So I'm really excited for
I
this.
feel like the author has a thing against Let's Play YouTubers. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm there with you.
Well, the funny thing is they're like, oh, we've got these figures and our videos get this many views, and I'm sitting there going, that's not a lot, actually. like one of our videos has that many views. It is the Godzilla video, which is our best performing video, but we've got more views than you on a video.
We've got more views than you guy. Want to compare sizes?
And unlike your guys who only just learned to play music, I've been playing guitar for 20 years. I'm not very good,
Let's
but I'm
start
probably better
a
than
band.
them.
I shall play the trombone.
I want you on keyboard.
What?
Keyboard, I reckon.
I want you on drums.
Me?
Yeah. I think you'd be great on drums.
I'm chaotic.
Yeah.
I have no rhythm.
That's good for
That's
keyboard.
my job.
Oh, really? I got keyboard.
I mean, I can play keyboard
things
too.
with sticks, Hulk smash.
Yes, but you have to keep the rhythm for the entire band.
Yeah, that sucks. That's
So
why I
the
wouldn't.
bassist and in a typical 4-piece rock band, the bassist and the drums are the rhythm engine of the band. They keep everyone on track.
And in time.
In time. The guitarist is meant to like then bring in like the excitement and the ups and downs and provide, you know, and this is why a bassist and a guitarist should never play exactly the same thing, because it ruins it.
Mm-hmm.
You want the bassist to not just be playing the root note, just like, you know, if the song's like, you know, A, E, D, G or something like that, you don't want them just playing A, E, E, D, 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 G,
I'm
G,
getting
it's
some
really dull.
U2 out of that.
Well, you two do it in a different way. Their bassist is actually really good, and he doesn't play standard bass either.
That's Chasers did a thing about them a while
So did
ago.
Bill Bailey.
Yes.
Yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, like, you two did really well with effects to make them sound really big, and that works really well when you've only got like technically a 3-piece. But what you want is a bassist who moves around that note. So they might go, you know, if it's like dun 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 is the normal bass line, it's like dun 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 dun, like, and then that can contrast against the playing of the chords on the rhythm guitarist.
This is a tangent, by the way.
Yeah,
ladies and
like you know,
This
and
is Kyle's modesty.
look, this is why this really worked for me, because like, and this is why I get overly invested in rock and roll anime. Like, why I loved all the references and listeners, and I adored K-On! Not because of just the music, but because of the actual aspects of talking about music. And it's why I don't seem to get into idol animes, because it's not deep enough. It is very
Shallow.
I'm sorry, but it's very surface level for me. Like, it's not about the music; it is about the personalities of those shows, and that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for the intricacies, the learning, the journey, if you will, of like becoming a musician, becoming better. And they acknowledge that all of them are not as good as they could be, and they berate each other to build each other up, which is not so much a common thing, but it's just funny in this situation of the contrast of
Takes
ladies
a certain kind of
screaming
people.
at each other.
Takes a certain relationship between people. To do that.
Exactly. But yeah, like, I adore this series. Tifa adores the series for the same reasons, being an art student and all that as well. Both of us have been chatting about it. It's great. Sign an audience target, obviously, but look, it's great. If you're a musician, watch this. You will enjoy it. Like, they really went to their full extent to make sure that they made it as realistic and relatable and understanding as possible, even to the point that the motion capture gets some of the fingers right as well for some of the riffs. It's like, I can play that now.
Love that. I mean, okay, I would expect that of an anime that is dealing with the guitar and stuff like that. You want the animation to be correct on finger placement.
You'd be surprised.
I would.
Yeah, some of
I'm
them are
constantly
real
disappointed. In fact,
Yeah. So look, that's it. So that kind of wraps up what we've got. There were a lot this season to like. These are just our personal favorites that really stuck out. As you can
we've
tell,
definitely missed out on some good ones.
oh, like, don't get me started. Like, we've mentioned them in previous episodes. There were so many this season to watch, but these are our picks at the moment that are the most. I need to go back and watch your format. Need to finish Lazarus. Need to finish Gundam. Like, there's a lot. Yeah.
Gundam
so-
G-Kicks.
yeah, we learned why that is, because apparently there's a Gundam GQUX was the original model in a different Gundam series, and then like it goes tangential, and every time they upgrade it, it's the GQU upgraded model, and they keep adding a U
right.
for every upgrade. So that's where we get this. It's dumb. It's really dumb. You could put V2 or Revision 2 or whatever, but yeah.
Enterprise D.
Yeah. Sound off in the comments for what your favorite was for this season. Obviously, socials or YouTube, whatever's easiest for you. But let's quickly dance through the anime news and then wrap up.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
I no longer wish to fight in the comments. I have been intimidated.
By all the timestamps.
That guy was passionate.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off as we always do with controversy. And
Yay.
this one's a good one. You will now bow down to Hello Kitty.
No.
Because Sanrio has become the fourth biggest shareholder in Production IG and Witch Studios' parent company.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. So
What?
IG Port, which own Production IG, Witch Studio, and MagGuard, announced on Tuesday it entered a capital business alliance with the merchandising company Sanrio. Sanrio has bucket loads of money. This means more anime, more support for staff, and a lot of good things, hopefully. So,
Okay.
Yep.
I can see perhaps some good things. Like, look, it's not Sony, so that's good.
yeah, well, they're now the fourth biggest shareholder of IG Port alongside NTT Docomo, which is a documentary and production company house,
Okay.
I believe, along with the founder, CEO, and president owns 18.9% of the company himself. Dentsu Group and NTV each own 9.85% of the company, both production houses and TV infrastructure groups. So it's good. Like, at least it's not like...
Sony.
No, I was going to say at least it's not some crypto guys or something like that, you know?
Sure.
That's what I said, Sony.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look, you're not wrong. Sony still are doing crypto, and people are like, guys, it's dead. Or, no, not even crypto, NFTs. Like, no.
Sony needs to
What's the
stop.
thing of like, is it Dionysus in the cave? Like, behold, an asset. So, look, IG Port's Witch Studio is producing, they're animating a
Diogenes,
stop motion My Melody and Kurumi series based on the Sanrio characters.
What?
That's going to debut on Netflix on July 24th. Yeah, so Witch Studio doing stop motion.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, look, there have been some amazing stop motion movies.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what?
Yeah, Signal MD were also underneath IG Port, but they were merged back into Production ID in June. So, same guys. It's just like now it's basically reducing overheads. So, like merging them into a single studio, so you don't have duplications of the finance guy, the CEO, like all those high-paying jobs. Which, look, if you're in those high-paying jobs, I'm sorry, but you should have been saving. So.
Pretty much.
Like,
yes.
this happens so often, you should have been saving your money. Don't go, like, you get a high-paying job, get those savings up. So, the IG Port will use 1 billion yen from the transaction as working capital earmarked for collaboration projects with Sanrio, as well as training new creators and funding creator works.
Wow.
So, that's pretty big. So, 1 billion yen is about $10 million US, I think.
That isn't
Yeah.
insignificant in a creative industry.
The remaining 600 million yen will be allocated for updating production systems, maintaining infrastructure such as PCs for animators, servers, and data centers for storing that data. So this is like going to really support them so that they can focus on the work instead of how are we going to afford this.
This doesn't sound terrible.
This sounds great. And Sanrio have never been a problematic company. I just thought it was controversial because we don't normally hear about these acquisitions being good. It's
Yeah.
a controversy for it to be good.
That is controversial. Like,
Right.
I'm looking for the downside. I'm looking for the brown lining of the silver cloud.
More Sanrio content? I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Sanrio's huge.
So that was good.
Yeah, and that means that they will probably feed more money in future as well to produce more content, which isn't a bad thing. We want to see this sort of, like, we want to see investment inside Japan from Japanese companies. We don't want them to be relying on external sources of income because that can pervert the course of the production.
We really don't want that.
So that's something, like, don't get me wrong, like, it's not to say foreign investment's bad, but there's a
don't
very
want-
obvious part in media where it impacts the production process.
Yes, we don't want a sort of mainstream westernization of anime. We like anime having the identity that it has. We
Yeah.
don't want that having to change.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I like to see these things. Now, onto something completely sideways of this, which I don't know if is controversial, but is kind of exciting. So you know how there's the platform Webtoon?
Yeah.
So they do like lots of short comics and stuff like that, and creators can upload to it. They can charge for it. They can make it free depending on their viewers.
I've been reading one as we speak.
Same, yeah. Webtoon is now going to add comics from Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher, The Legend of Korra. Some of these are mangas. The Critical Role manga is getting added.
Okay.
Plants vs. Zombies there. To the English language platform in vertical scroll format beginning in the second half of 2025. The reason this is happening is part of a joint partnership and venture between Webtoon and Dark Horse Comics. And that partnership, where's the other one? Oop, no, I didn't save it. Oh, well. That partnership is basically going to launch new creators from around the world in multi-language onto the platform, providing translation services as well.
Fantastic.
So that means it will make some stuff that may have only been a Korean manhwa, for instance, or a Japanese series which hasn't been translated but is looking for a home. It might give them opportunities.
I have been reading a lot more Korean manhwa lately, so...
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're crazy good.
Yeah. Cyberpunk is...
my singular obsession is still tower farming.
Yeah, you love that.
It's so adorable.
Yeah. There's a few around that idea where it's in a dungeon and farming in the dungeon, and they're all great. So, yeah.
We love our dungeons.
Yeah. Yong-Soo Kim is the CSO, and he's the head of Global Webtoon, and he said they're thrilled to work with Dark Horse, bring this new slate of world-class titles to it, whether it's helping new creators grow or bringing beloved franchises in-house. We're committed to great storytelling. Dark Horse, obviously, very happy. Webtoon's been an incredible partner for our Avatar comics, and we're confident, as in like The Legend of Korra, we're confident these new stories are in good hands. Dark Horse Comics shut down its digital service in February due to financial difficulties. So this is great that there's going to be a digital location for them to head to.
I was big on Dark Horse's Star Wars run way back when I was a kid, so this is good news for me.
I'm really saddened to know that they shut that. I actually missed that. I didn't realize they had it shut down in February because Dark Horse is one of those independent, fantastic publishing houses. So support for Dark Horse Comics and the Plants vs. Comics app for iOS device ended on March 31st. Webtoon also partnered with IDW Publishing. They do the Sonic comics at the moment to bring several of their publishers' popular titles to its platform.
Comics.
They're really good.
Oh, dude.
They have, like, the IDW Sonic comics are a clean break from the Archie ones.
Yeah,
and they have no right being this good. The drawing is wow.
I have trauma of that past.
Well, you're thinking of the Ken Penders period, and that man just...
There was a beautiful Mega Man Sonic crossover comic.
Yeah, recently.
Not recently, it was years ago.
No, there's another one coming. Yeah.
Aaron's gonna be
there's
half a
currently
man.
there's currently a Sonic DC crossover as well with like the Justice League.
Yeah.
I don't
Sonic's
think
the
it's
Flash. Surprise.
Yeah, I don't think it's as good as some of the other crossovers, but it's not bad. It's definitely better than what we've
believe
seen.
I saw some of that with Shadow as Batman.
Yeah, yeah. Webtoon's added Fullmetal Alchemist recently as well.
Oh, hey.
And Webtoon, they had the reason we're getting all this news is Webtoon had like their big Webtoon convention about 2 weeks, a week ago, and they announced a heap of stuff. Now, also of note is that Cyberpunk has manga in development as well. Mm-hmm. So we've got the one which is the prequel story for Rebecca, and that's been going and getting release after release, but they've only released the first 2 chapters in English, and there's 15 in Japanese.
Damn it.
And no one's been able to get a hold of them to translate them. And the translations are just waiting until they have somewhere to go. And I think that's literally because they were getting published because Dark Horse was the publishing partner on Dark Horse's digital comics, and now they can only go in print.
Right.
And that ended literally 2 months after they started doing the series. So hopefully that means we'll see them go to Webtoon as well. So
Hopefully,
I'm quite hopeful.
With this happens, it means that, like, look, I do love our fan subbing community, and I love the people who will find us and create these wonderful online services that aren't official. But I'd love it to be an official service.
Yeah.
Just, as soon as the manga comes out, get some translators on it. Make it worldwide.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, especially Yen Press and what's the other one that's connected with Shonen Jump.
Shonen Jump, yes.
But they've got like Viz Media.
Oh, yeah.
Those two need to pick up their game. They are always so late to the party, and the only exception is the Shonen Jump app where they have same day releases. All the others are like years after the release. And like Seven Seas, I won't give a hard time because they don't have any digital presence, and they are looking for ways to create physical media, not digital. But like if 7 Seas could get in that game and show them up, guys, do it. Like, you guys are a big enough arm now, and you have enough fans over for 7 Seas Productions to get into the digital game. You should do it. It's a great way to earn extra money, and you can put adverts in there for your other platforms to buy stuff.
Yeah,
drive that traffic. It's a great option. Anyway, Windbreaker. It's getting a live action film.
Neat.
Yep. That was my joke as well. We're adults here.
I'm an adult.
So the film will open this December in Japan. It looks very pretty. This is a shonen, very much a shonen manga, an adrenaline-filled manga set in a high school for delinquents who are now heroes protecting their town. A fierce new student arrives at the school, determined to fight his way to the top and become the strongest of them all. This edgy, action-packed manga is guaranteed to excite fans of Tokyo Revengers and other stories about high school delinquents, because it actually has a direction, and it's not going to retrocon stuff either. So
That's neat.
It's apparently really good. It's really popular in Japan at the moment, which is why it's doing this. Apparently, it's getting a stage production as well. Or actually, it's already happened. Ran from January 1 to 3 in Osaka and 10 to 19 in Tokyo.
The stage production side of anime and manga is so strange.
Yeah, it's just so different from what we experience with stage productions over here. So
It's the fact that, popular media over there is turned into stage productions. What do we get? We get Madame Butterfly and the Barber of Seville.
Yeah.
I watched the Naruto one in cinemas, like the Naruto stage play.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
I saw a bit of the Death Note one. It was
Yeah.
loopy.
Yeah.
That was musical.
Also, G-Kids are going to screen All You Need Is Kill in theatres, including North America, UK, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. This confirms that it is indeed a film and not a series, which is disappointing because now we're just basically getting Live, Death, Repeat.
Yep.
The Tom Cruise one, Edge of Tomorrow, which is what was based on this.
Which was a cool movie.
It was a cool movie, but they actually look. It
original.
was pretty close to the source material, but it also was. It westernized and Hollywooded it. I'm just a little disappointed. This would have made a great single season anime. Like, you could have covered the entire story in 12 chapters, 12 episodes. It would have been exceptionally well animated. It would have been well received, and it would have gone down as a classic. Taking it as a film, I just feel kind of lessens the availability you have for what to do with it. And if you can make it a 2-hour film, you can make that a series. There's no question there. So, yeah, it is having early screenings at the Annecy Film Festival in France from June 8th to the 14th. So that's wrapped up now. And they kind of did... it's being directed at Studio 4 Degrees C, and Science Saru is providing animation support as well, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was... Okay, I think Science Saru might be on as a support studio instead of the lead studio now, which is disappointing. Studio 4 Degrees C is still good. They've done good films before. But I just kind of wish it was like Science Saru doing the whole thing as a series, because that would have been just so much better.
Yeah.
We're expecting that probably end of the year, I believe. So we'll see how that goes.
As a Berserk fan, I've seen I have learned to live with disappointment of not receiving top quality animation.
Well, on the note of disappointments and being Berserk fans, Go Tambo's manga award adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu story has won the Bram Stoker Award in Europe.
Whoop, whoop.
It's that good. It's the Superior Achievement in Graphic Novels Award.
I have been buying up those graphic novels, and
they're amazing.
First of all, they are utterly faithful, down to the goddamn structured layout of Innsmouth. It's just perfect. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this is getting mainstream attention and awards and stuff, I can't wait until
Guess who's the licensee? It's Dark Horse, because of course it is. Yeah, makes sense. I
gotta lend you these, man.
The winners were announced on June 14 at StokerCon. I didn't even know that was a thing. So there's a Bram Stoker convention in Connecticut. It's apparently really good. The Bram Stoker Awards are awarded by the US Horror Writers Association to honor horror and dark fantasy works. Winners are selected by active members of the association, which means active members of the horror community in the US are looking at Japanese content. And that is great because wow, wait till they start reading some of the stuff we've seen.
I actually have some respect for that
Do
organization
you reckon
as well.
Junji Ito started that ball rolling?
I think he did. I
I
would
wonder.
like to talk about the walking fish people zombies because I think that's where it began. Because what? No, I'm kidding. So Dark Horse Comics.
Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
Horse.
Wow.
Doorcast.
Dark House.
Why does that sound like a German word?
Welcome to the Dark House.
Yeah. Dark Horse Comics published his manga of The Hound and Other Stories,
Dark House.
which has The Hound, The Temple, The Nameless City. They then did At the Mountains of Madness in 2019.
So good.
Which also won stuff at the International Festival. And then he also released a single omnibus volume of The Shadow over Innsmouth as well.
Glorious.
He's also released manga for The Color Out of Space, The Haunter of the Dark, The Outsider, The Dunwich Horror, and The Shadow Out of Time. These are earlier works, and these are now getting brought out by Dark Horse. The Color Out of Space releases on July 1. So, yeah. He's
Color
also...
Out of Space was great with Nicolas Cage in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would have been. He's also launched a short story collection. So short stories about Dreamlands manga based on H.P. Lovecraft's Dream Cycle stories and Lovecraft no Genie, the Lovecraft's Phantom. So yeah, he's got a lot. This guy's clearly like deep on the Lovecraft, wanting to bring it to modern audiences.
Don't say that word.
No, it is because when was Lovecraft?
Yeah, it's just modern audiences suck.
Real modern audience, not the ones that the execs talk about.
Oh, okay, yes, good.
Yeah, like as in us. As in people who are looking for horror and don't know some of these classics and are looking for a new medium to experience them.
I could basically make an entire other podcast just talking about Lovecraft's work. It's just...
There's so much.
Historically a product of its time, but at the same time, unlike anything of its kind.
Yeah.
And just I could go on for ages about the connections between Lovecraft and Robert E. Howard, who did Conan.
Oh, yeah.
They were best mates, and so they worked their stuff into each other's books.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't realize that. So does that mean if we were playing Conan online, we could potentially fight Cthulhu?
What do you mean potentially? I've already fought one of those things.
Oh, the Dark
One.
Lords are here. One. That's
One of those things.
There's a lot of them.
There's
Cthulhu is not the most powerful of that thing of
Cthulhu
gods.
is a priest.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fight his little star spawns.
Yeah. Aaron's just like, I didn't realize how deep this rabbit hole went. So, let's move on
But
from that.
reality is thin and basically only two-dimensional. All of time and space is a lie.
So we've got a couple more manga things. Let's not get too extra dimensional here.
No,
so
too late.
The Dangers in My Heart manga is getting a spin-off. It's beginning on July 22. This is one that me and Terry adore. This is basically about a creepy guy and a gorgeous girl and them falling in love. So Ichikawa Kyotaro is a boy barely clinging to the bottom rung of his school's social ladder, secretly believes he's the tortured lead in some psychological thriller. This lasts for 2 chapters. He spends his day dreaming ways to disrupt the classmates' peaceful lives and pining after Anna Yamada, the class idol. But Kyotaro is not nearly the troubled teen he pretends to be, and it turns out Anna's a bit odd herself. Oh, yes, she is. She's adorable. So this is a spin-off focusing on his older sister, who's in a rock band. And it's
There's a bit
called
of that going around these days.
The
isn't
Dangers
there?
in My Heart, A Romantic Comedy Will Not Start. And it's pretty much going to focus on the older sister and a guy, I'm guessing, who likes her and her being oblivious to it. Because she's all about the music, man. There's 2 seasons of the anime already for the original for Dangers in My Heart, but like it's good. It's great fun. All right, last anime news item. This is big. Vinland Saga manga is ending on July 25th.
Oh no!
I celebrated too soon.
Remember, this is a weekly manga. It will end on its 220th chapter.
And I said that too soon. I am a fan of things having an ending.
Yeah.
If it just drags out forever, it just becomes not One Piece.
Yeah. So
Piece.
Red Piece.
Blue Piece?
Yeah.
yellow piece because they've had one for each color for the films now for One Piece.
He didn't get the reference.
No,
He
gold.
didn't get the reference at
He
all.
didn't get the reference.
I missed the reference.
One piece, two piece, red piece, blue piece.
Oh, right.
This is Dr. Seuss.
One sheep, two sheep, red sheep, blue
There
sheep.
have been many
Yeah.
high fives this session. And I
Yes,
appreciate
and
that.
they have
I'm
been
for
crisp.
it.
Well done. So yeah, this has been running since 2019. We do love Vinland Saga. A lot of people did not like season 2 because it's a different part of the story.
It wasn't meant to be all action and
This is the thing. Everyone thought this was just going to be angry
Vikings.
Attack on Titan-esque. It's not that. This is about coming of age, growing up, and chasing your dreams.
This is it's deeply
Naruto.
psychological.
Deeply psychological. So yeah, second season's very different tone. I think we are up to like chapter 70 adaptation wise, 80. Still a lot to go. We haven't heard anything about a season 3 yet, but I do believe it is in the works, and there have been stage plays for it as well. 2 of them ran in Tokyo in 2024.
It's just still so random.
Yeah, Netflix is streaming the anime service worldwide except in China, and Crunchyroll streaming the second season worldwide except Asia. They're streaming it in multi-language too. Look, if you haven't watched Vinland Saga and want to see like a really fantastic historically based story, it's worth checking out. And if you want to just dive in for the books, they're thick boys.
I had my mind blown at episode 1 because it started naming all of the major kind of historic players in that whole conflict. It's just like, hey, oh, I know where this is going. Oh, I know where this is going.
That's always fun.
Also, Black Lagoon's back.
What?
First chapter in 7 months. The previous 3 chapters was May 2024, August 24, December 2024. Before that, it was on break again.
Wow. I feel like you just told me that Pokemon Season 1 just started. That's just...
Yeah, it's up to volume 13. So yeah, like
Welcome back.
welcome back. We'll see you in another 7 months for another chapter.
Yeah, been a bit, hasn't it?
Black Lagoon went out to get the milk.
Actually, have we done a Black Lagoon episode?
I don't believe we have.
So.
I don't think we should do a next episode Black Lagoon.
Okay.
Let's sit in and binge watch it.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll be right back after this.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
So I think you need to repeat that for our audience.
Okay, so earlier when we were talking about the Sonic comics and then the DC crossover, Kenny did mention that Shadow was Batman. And all I could think of was, with his recent role in the Sonic movies, Shadow being voiced by Keanu Reeves.
as
Keanu Reeves is Batman.
Batman.
Keanu Reeves as Batman, I think, is a fantastic idea.
Why hasn't that been done?
The problem I'm having is, have you seen the Keanu Reeves film where it's the destination wedding and they're just awful people? It's really funny. It's really dry humor. And yeah, I'm just imagining him like that as Bruce Wayne. The most insufferable person you've ever met.
Right? Oh, that's beautiful. That's breathtaking. He's breathtaking.
Yeah, he's
You're
breathtaking. Eddie.
Breath has been taken.
So, next episode, as we mentioned, Black Lagoon. We're going to go for a bit of a dive. I watched season 1 and never got up to Roberta's Blood Trail OVA series, so I need to watch that. It is a bit more of a mature anime, so this might not be one for the youngins. It's not like super bad, and it's got beautiful explosions. Holy cow, Madhouse can animate.
It says all the naughty words we're only allowed to say on the pre-show, which you should watch.
Yes. Now, if you have enjoyed what you heard, hit that subscribe button. Join us for future episodes. This episode, the subscribe button. What has it got behind it, boys?
A respectful conversation in the comments.
It has a respectful conversation in the comments.
Not Keanu as Batman?
Oh.
I'm the knight.
Hitting the like button is 1 like for Keanu Reeves as Batman.
Like, seriously, how are we not funding this?
Yeah, I know, right? Now, if you are listening on YouTube, hit that like button too for Batman. Let us know what your shows that you're looking forward to this season down in the comment section below. We've
I'd
also
take an
got...
animated voice actor as Keanu Reeves as Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Anything.
So there's also dedicated videos on the channel. We are planning one coming up for Turkey once we get around to going bowling as a group. But we've also had one for Beyblades recently and a couple of others from the past, including some interviews. We will try and get more of those coming back in as we go on now that things are finally calming down in the world for us. Now, if you would like to support us, you can join the Kawaii-Fi community on social media. And obviously, we have support for Patreon as well, where there's additional content, outtakes, video extras, all sorts of bits and bobs, depending on what you go for.
I mean, we've had Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern. I mean, how have we just...
Right?
We should just...
But that's James Gunn. James Gunn
yes.
puts Nathan Fillion in everything.
That's fair.
This is
no,
true,
he
but-
voice acted for actual Green Lantern, not Polka Green Lantern.
No. Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, Nathan Fillion's done voice acting as Green Lantern in the animated.
Okay, but like James Gunn also puts Nathan Fillion in everything. He's in
Yeah.
2 Guardians movies as different characters.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah. Yeah, he used to. I do love Nathan Fillion.
I think that's just him making up for Firefly crashing and burning.
Well, he wasn't involved in it.
Wait, what?
No, Firefly was Joss Whedon.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
On that note, we need to play the Firefly board game. It's so fun.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
We play many board games.
we do. We should organise a board game day.
It's organized.
Yeah. I mean, it's the right weather for it. It's bucketing down with rain in WA at the moment. So, yeah, we're staying indoors a lot.
Yeah, you know how Australia's kind of supposed to be this hot desert kind of sandy hotness? Yeah, hell's frozen over.
No, it's not frozen over. We're just in.
Tell that to my feet.
So the the Nyunga people, who are the native Australians for the Perth region, what is it, the Wajak Noongar people, they have a set of 6 seasons that they work with, and it actually works better here than the standard seasons because we've just moved into one season and the rain started bucketing down immediately. Like, it's bang on the money, even with
It's
all
like
the
a
climate
light
change
switch.
stuff. They're so right. So yeah, we have like, really hot season, middling season, windy season, rain season, flowering season, and then another one that keeps going round and round.
Magpie
It's
season.
Magpie season. It's beautiful. Like, it's really worth a look into it if you are a local Western Australian resident, because it explains so much about how wacky our seasons are and because of the way our land is. Because the centre of Australia is dead because of the Blue Mountains on the east. Like, if those mountains didn't stop all the water coming through, we would have green inland. But
Which is so weird.
I know, right? Like, but yeah. Anyway,
Enough
weather.
rambling.
Why don't we take the mountains and move them away?
So, look, thank you so much for joining us. Always fun doing these anime season previews. As we said, we won't be able to cover every show every season because it's too time consuming. We don't want to take up 4 hours of your day. That's what we used to do. It doesn't work. It's not engaging. It's not fun. We get burnt out. It's not fun for you as a listener either. So we hope you've enjoyed, and thank you for joining us. Until next time, watch some anime! Keanu Fillion.
Not affiliated.
Whoa.